Hello, Renee Flamand here. Minnie is very relaxed today, so I don't want to pick her up. You guys, I have not been watching the trial of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. The trial. What I have caught are all of these little things that keep hitting like social media, these little 1-minute clips, and I'm going to play one for you because it sounds exactly like an encapsulation of what we victims of a narcissistic abusive relationships would say. It's exactly the same thing. And I'm kind of nervous to play it only because I don't, as you know, swear on this channel. And there's some swears in here. So I hope it doesn't get blocked, or people swear all over social media. I don't know. Watch, I'll get blocked. But this is a little clip. Listen, wait, let me start it again.
I love you, regardless of whether we're together or not. I love you, and I have loved you with everything in the fucking world. Whether your love was real or not, I love you. I loved you for so many fucking years, but you know what? You didn't exist. You don't exist. You're not there. You're not there. You were a fucking made-up thing in my head. I can't believe you're doing this to me. I can't believe it. You've been nothing but cruel, and I'm going to court with you. I love you, regardless of whether we're together or not. I love you, and I have loved you with everything in the fucking world. Whether your love was real or not, I love you. I loved you for so many fucking years, but you know what? You didn't exist. You don't exist. You're not there. You're not there. You were a fucking made-up thing in my head. I can't believe you're doing this to me. I can't believe it. You've been nothing but cruel, and I'm going to court with you.
Okay? So he says everything that we all feel. He's standing there in this conversation. I guess they keep playing conversations that one of them taped or whatever. And you can hear her going, stop, stop, because he's trying to profess to her these feelings. I loved you forever. I don't care if you love me or not. You were a made-up thing in my head. Whenever he said that, I thought, so she love-bombed him. She pretended to be somebody that she wasn't. I don't know these people. I'm not saying it like I know their business. But just from that 30 seconds, which I played it twice, and I tested it. I think you can hear it. I tried to mouth it for you. He was a victim of somebody that made him think, it seems from that quote, that she was somebody altogether different. He fell hard in love, flat on his face in love, which is what happens to all of us when we are love bombed that hard by a malignant narcissist. It sounds like this one is. I mean, and talk about the rest of the cycle. There has been, and she used the word smear campaign or smearing in one of the clips. But I haven't really seen him or any memes of him being cruel to her or any memes of him saying mean things to her. I keep getting information in these little clips. And again, I've not watched the trial, but I've read enough, seen enough, and saw enough clips that it seems she ensnared him with the love bombing, which for new people, this is a Friday off-topic kind of crossover because new people, please, this can happen to anyone. This happened to Johnny Depp. So for anyone out there who was ensnared by a narcissist, and again, I'm not diagnosing Amber, I'm not a doctor, I don't know her, but from afar, she ensnared him with the love bombing, and it's Johnny Depp. We go through a lot of beating ourselves up, and we say, I was so stupid, and how could I believe them, and how could this happen to me, and what's wrong with me? This happened to Johnny Depp, one of the most beautiful, most talented, seems to be a congenially nice guy throughout his life. Why do I say that? Why do I know that? I've only been a fan of his for 30 years. as has been my mother, as has been everybody in this family. And I've paid attention. And I read when he was going out with Vanessa Paradis and Winona Ryder and Kate Moss. I've been following kind of his path for years. He went out with Vanessa Paradis for 14, 15 years. They had 2 kids together. You didn't hear one word bad about him. And she has gone on record and said, I've never seen anything from him other than impeccable behavior. Okay? So what that tells me is she ensnared him. Let's get back to that. He is now saying to her, I loved you. Why are you doing this to me? Which is also what we all feel. Why are you doing this to me? How many times did you say that to your narcissist? And you're left feeling with just this complete, dumbfounded, confused, can't believe this is happening. He's saying to her in this quote exactly what we've all felt. I loved you with everything in me. Everything in me, I loved you. Everything. Why are you doing this to me? He will never get answers. And if you listen to that, and the next 2 videos I've outlined will cover this in more detail, these topics, but he's not getting any answers. He's doing all the talking. The only thing she musters in that entire little soliloquy, you can hear her go, stop, stop. But that's it. Not like, he maybe, I don't know that he was fishing, but in other words, when you're going through a soliloquy like that, you would love to get something back from the narcissist, validating, something that helps you make sense of it. He got nothing. He got 0 from her. I can't believe you're doing this to me. I loved you for years, and I will love you whether or not you love me. How many of you have thought that? You're leaving your narcissist. And I remember being in that phase and knowing I'm leaving this person. And I did. It took multiple times of leaving him, but I finally made it stick. And every single time I was going to do that, I remember thinking, I'm just going to love him anyway. That's not true. It does fade. I don't sit here now and think I still love him. But back then, when you are so entrenched and you are trauma bonded and you have been successfully love bombed and ensnared by this kind of person, you go away from it thinking, I'm going to love them forever, whether or not they love me back. Now that can happen in non-disordered relationships plenty of times. The old Nazareth song, Love Hurts. You love him and she loves him. He loves somebody else. You just can't wait. Okay, fine. That can happen. That can happen. But when it's in particular done calculatedly by a narcissist, that they like to see you swoon and fall in love with them. If she is a narcissist, she certainly enjoyed watching him fall in love. It's like they like to see their powers at work, I think. You know what I mean? Like, I think that I saw my narcissist. They get a very big rush out of making you swoon. The harder they come on strong, you know what I mean? The thicker they lay it on, and the more you swoon, their head swells. Because they take that to me, oh, I made her feel that way. Well, in this case, this girl apparently made him feel that he was going to love her even if she didn't love him back. She made him feel that he was so confused that he's saying to her, how can you be doing this to me? And the reason I'm bringing this up, not to sensationalize their trial, like I said, I'm not even watching it. I'm not. And if catching clips on social media, you know, would not let you be on a jury, I guess I couldn't be. But when I say I've never tuned in, I've never tuned in. I could be on the jury. Unless, like I say, if you've even seen this stuff, you're disqualified. I've not seen an ounce. But just from that, I can tell you this man is broken in the same exact spot that I was, that all of you were. So when you sit there and say, which we often do, I'm so stupid. I feel dumb. How can this happen to me? It happens to everybody. Everybody. And I feel awful that anyone would go through this, but can you imagine if your situation, my situation, any of our situations were magnified, put on trial in front of everybody? I don't want to attach this clip, not to mention I don't think I would know how, but I don't know about like rights and all that, so I don't want to do that. But if you replay that and listen, but you can see him in the clip, he like puts his head down and he's wiping his eyes. So he's still crying over it. That's how much it's still raw for him, right? And they've been going through this for several years. So I wanted to reach through the phone, grab him, and make him watch 500 videos and let him know it's going to be okay, and let him know he wasn't stupid, and let him know he didn't do anything to make her change her mind. It sounds to me like a classic tale of girl meets boy. In this case, she was the narcissist, completely ensnared him to the point that he married her. He was with Vanessa Paradis for 14, 15 years, and they never got married. He's had some beautiful girlfriends, but he met her and they got married pretty quick. So my guess is she came on really strong. She pretended to be everything that she thought he wanted. My guess is for him to be that in love that fast, to be moved, to propose to her, still loving her, crying on the stand, and then it blows up. So my guess is he is still reeling from it. And we all carry it a long time. It is impossible to explain to anybody else unless you've been through a relationship with this type of person. And I found it extremely interesting that that little clip encompasses everything we say. Everything we say. And at the very end, he says, "You have been nothing but cruel. I'm going to court with you. You've been nothing but cruel." And the sentence before that was the one when he says, I can't believe you're doing this to me. Stop. I can't believe you're doing this to me. Why are you doing this to me? Stop. That's all he gets from her. He gets no answers. He gets no validation. She gives him no clarity, no closure, no explanation, nothing. In that clip, he gets nothing. And the cruelty she's bestowed upon him has been unbelievable. And the dysfunction she has in her behaviors have been unbelievable. And I'll let you look the things up yourself that she's done, because I don't even want to repeat it. They've been disgusting behaviors. They've been disgusting behaviors. And he seems congenial and lovely and soft-spoken. And when I say I've been following him, I don't mean I'm a teenage girl with a crush, but he's about my age. I've been watching him in film since early 90s, late 80s, I even think. Yeah, I mean, and so as a result, you pay attention and you watch someone, and when there's a clip or he's on a talk show, I watch him. That's decades of watching him in interviews and reading things. The man seems like a peach. He just seems like a peach. Quiet, polite, soft-spoken Kentucky boy. And you know what? I don't care what they're trying to make. Oh, did you have a drink? Did you do this? Give me a break. They're trying to pick apart those behaviors that he does. This girl came along and completely, maybe she targeted him. Maybe she thought he looks like one that I can grab. Maybe Johnny Depp had a vulnerable spot within him that allowed him to react to that. We talk about that. Well, just because he's Johnny Depp doesn't mean he might not have a hole of self-love. That beautiful boy could indeed have a hole of self-love. It was vulnerable for a second. Boom, she saw it, played upon, probably mirrored to him exactly what she heard him say he wanted, heard him say he doesn't like, heard maybe he was talking about past relationships. And this girl just picked and chose and calculated her appearance and persona to be what he wanted. I loved you so much, I'll love you forever. Even if you don't love me, I'll love you forever. But you were nothing. You were not, you didn't exist. You were a figment in my head. That is what really, you know, that's what we talk about, the 5% guy, I call him. In this case, she had a 5% girl. That's a figure in their head. Once her mask fell off, now he can't believe what he sees. The mask was on. She was everything he wanted. I'm going to love you forever. I feel so bad that he's going through that because we all know exactly how he's feeling. He's in shock. I can't believe you're doing this to me. And who are you? You weren't even who I thought. You don't even exist. You know what, Johnny? You're right. You're right. That is their MO. That is their behavior. That is how they do things. It's a calculated, manipulative tactic. She is indeed probably non-existent. She put on a front for you to be what you wanted, and that person doesn't exist. Just like the 5% guy narcissist that I had doesn't exist, which if you're just tuning in for this video, we call that on this channel, I call the 5% guy, the guy or girl that shows you in the love bombing all of this good stuff, all of these things that make you love them. They mirror what they think you want. They be the person you think they want. You think you've met your dream-like person, okay? So the 5% guy, because 95% of them, the real person is behind the mask and you haven't seen that yet. Once that mask comes off and you see the real them, that's when this quote comes into play. I can't believe you're doing this to me. You're non-existent. He's realizing he was, in fact, in love with someone that no longer exists. And what makes the person realize that when they're in a narcissistic relationship is quotes like this. Because he's saying to her, I can't believe you're doing this to me. Why are you doing this to me? And he gets nothing. He gets nothing. We're dying for them to say something to show us a glimmer of the person before. A glimmer of some kind of clarity or understanding or comprehension. We cannot possibly fathom the person in front of us that he's pleading to in that. The person in front of us is, there's zero evidence of the person we fell in love with. And it boggles the mind. And this example to me, I thought about, I had an entire other video outlined about ageism. You guys know I'm fascinated with the whole topic of aging. So I bumped it ahead to a different Friday because this I saw 2 days ago. This little clip, and there was another one, ready? Not a clip, but a little like meme thing. And it says, and this was her devaluing him. We talk about devaluing. It even happens to Johnny Depp. Okay, and when there's nothing wrong, I'm sorry. Johnny Depp my mother loves him, I love him, my daughter loves him. We're talking about a multi-generational person that, you know, that has multi-generational fans. Hi, baby girl. Oh, is your foot caught? There you go, mommy. You okay? All right. She said to him when Johnny Depp told Amber, and this is out there too, you guys might have seen this. Talk about devalue. This is awful. Oh my God, I still can't believe she said this to Johnny Depp. When Johnny Depp told Amber Heard that Dior was interested in a campaign with him, she said, Dior? Why would they want to work with you? You have no class or style. You're a fat old man. And the meme shows him rocking out, being his fabulous self with his guitar, looking awesome, Dior did not cancel him. And because of the smearing that she did about this man, talk about damage, Pirates of the Caribbean, Disney dropped him. Right? Dior did not. They stood by him, even with that. But that's the comment that she said to him. His life encompasses every single thing we talk about on this channel. He had a smear campaign. Johnny Depp was victim of a smear campaign. And it ill-affected his life. Tremendously professionally. Tremendously. Being dropped as Captain Jack, that's his role. That's his role. And he didn't get a chance to say goodbye to it properly. And he didn't get a chance to finish off the series like he might have wanted to. All because she did this in the media about behavior that he did. Now, some people might say, well, shouldn't you? Because one person said this to me the other day. Well, isn't it all about you should believe the woman? Isn't it all about the Me Too movement? And she said this, and so you should believe her. Look, I'm not in their relationship, but the bits and pieces that I have seen, I am Team Johnny. I'm sorry, I can see it a mile away. And the clips that you get, that you see her adjust her face and try to look sad after laughing a second before, everything fits. That she is abusing him in a narcissistic way. Fat old man. That's like the times I've told you, oh, you look fat in those jeans. Classic D-value. What wife says that to her husband? Dior wants to use you in a campaign and you say that? Now, oh my God, honey, that's so great. Of course they want you, babe. You're a rock star. That's what spouses should do to each other. Unless you're a narcissistic abuser, person with narcissistic personality disorder, and you bestow an insult upon your partner after being given such a wonderful offer. I'm livid. I wanted to jump through the phone and just hug him. And I don't mean like I have a crush on him, I want to hug him. Although, who doesn't have a crush on Johnny Depp? The world, we all do. He's a beautiful, beautiful man. But I wanted to just hug him and sit with him like crisscross applesauce for 14 hours straight and have him get everything off his chest and have us all talk to him about how it will get better. You will end up feeling better. With a lot of education and empowerment, you can understand it's not you. Why did she do this to you? Because it's her disorder. It's not you, Johnny. You can't believe she did this to you. I can't either, that there are people like that. But she will go ahead and do that to the next person. She's probably done it to another person. That's her disorder. It's not on Johnny at all. And again, if people say, well, what if he did it? Look, I just don't buy it. I just don't buy it. I just don't. I just don't. And not just because I'm a fan of Johnny Depp's work. His body of work is impeccable. It speaks for itself. And not just because he's a beautiful boy. That's not why. I don't believe her because of things like this clip and comments like I just read to you. It fits into the classic cycle of narcissistic abuse. So the next time any of you, especially new people who are really walloped and have no idea what just happened to them, neither does Johnny Depp. He's sitting there saying, I can't believe you're doing this to me. And he's stunned that she's a figment of his imagination. He's stunned that she did this to him. He's stunned at how much he loves her and thinks he will forever. The real sweet spot of being involved in a relationship like this is when you realize that you didn't love them, you couldn't have, because they're not real. That's the next step he has to go now. He's saying at the beginning of the clip I played, I'm going to love you forever even if you don't love me. But at the end, he does say, towards the end, you're a figment, you never existed. So you can't love someone that never existed. That takes a minute to get over that hump. And eventually you go from, I'm always going to love this person. You get the education, the empowerment, I'm watching video, which I did. I tell you all to binge watch right here. Pick mine. Just sit at this, because I'm telling you, it helped me. And suddenly I was over the hump with the realization I never loved him. You can't love a person that doesn't exist. You can't. Right? I'm going to be 55 years old in a couple of weeks, and it took me all this time to learn this. But you cannot love a person that's faking who they are to you. So one day I hope he realizes that he's not destined to love her forever, even if she doesn't love him. And one day I hope he realizes that he didn't do anything to make her have this behavior. She just chose, for whatever reason, that it was time to devalue him. So she calls him a fat old man. So she mistreats him. So she talks about him in the press. He was a victim of all of it. The devalue, the smear campaign, the abuse, the love bombing in the beginning. It can happen to Johnny Depp. It can happen to you. I don't like when people walk around feeling dumb or duped, right? I've talked a lot about that. I detest being duped. Who likes it? No one likes being duped. But I'm saying I really don't like the idea that people feel isolated, like they're the only one that this happens to, and they're flabbergasted as to how it came upon them and what did I do and da-da-da-da-da. He was just a guy in the world minding his own business. In my opinion, you never heard anything bad about this guy. You're talking about somebody, he owned that club that River Phoenix died in, and I just read this trivia. He closed that club because he owned it. The Viper, I think. Viper Room or something. Every Halloween, I think the night was that River Phoenix died, he closed the club every single year on that night until he didn't own it anymore. I mean, this is a man who feels. This is a man who bestows love upon the people that he loves. He names different places on his island to do with friends and his children. And this is a man who feels. And I just don't believe for 1 second that he did any of the things to her that she said. It's a smear campaign. I'm onto her from a mile away. And I just wanted to mention it because if you're ever feeling like, what did I do? Why did this happen to me? It can even happen to Johnny Depp. That's my opinion. I'm not, like I said, I'm making it very clear. I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing her. But if this situation is not the toxic, narcissistic, personality disorder person bestowing the behavior upon a victim, then I don't know what is. I just wanted to mention this because we are not alone. It can happen to anybody. Anybody. You look at him, you think, oh, he's got it all together. He's got, work. He's continually working for decades, which is really the ultimate accomplishment of any actor, right? They want to work. He's been working forever. Forever. He's beautiful. He seems kind. He's got children. He has friends. But this one comes along and wallops him because of this disorder. I just wanted to mention it. I want you all to keep your chin up if you're going through the same thing. Please go ahead and hit sub, like, and share. And I will see you next time.